Broncos country, what's going on? Today we're going to break down and preview Thursday night football's matchup tomorrow. Our Denver Broncos headed to New Orleans for Sean Payton's homecoming against the New Orleans Saints. And I'm going to put it out there. This is an absolute must win for the Broncos. Let's keep our playoff hopes alive in the wild card race. And this is an extremely important matchup and game where Bo Nix, on just a few days after I think his worst game of the season against the LA Chargers, where we need to see him bounce back. I'm going to get into all that in the preview. Again, guys, if you have any keys to the game, what you think about this matchup, be sure to leave it in the comments on the replay or in the live chat. Be sure to like and subscribe to David Talks Broncos, and let's get started. So I want to lead with this. There are a lot of things going in the favor of the Denver Broncos in this game. Most notably, this team also has a rookie quarterback, but it is not a first-round quarterback that's making their sixth, seventh start. No. We have Spencer Rattler, who I was a big fan of pre-draft, falling all the way, I think, to the fifth or sixth round, being selected by New Orleans. And with Derek Carr injured, he's going to be the guy. He got his first start last week in the 51-27 blowout that the Buccaneers put on the Saints there in New Orleans, I believe. And so it is imperative. This is my first key to victory, that Bo Nix needs to outperform and outduel Spencer Rattler. Like, that needs to happen, man. No doubt about it. And it's not convenient. It's not convenient with doing this on the road in New Orleans on 3 days to prepare, right? But no, we cannot have that. I got the Bo Nix jersey on, trying to put some good juju out there for the offense. But yeah, we need Bo Nix to have a really strong outing, a rebound in this game. And we'll get to the injury report here in a minute. We'll go through that. But shout out to one of the best Broncos Twitter accounts on Twitter. Respect my Coes. That's right. Respect my Broncos. Saying here, run the damn ball. You're absolutely right. No doubt about it. I don't care who it is. Can we just find somebody that can run the ball? How about a little bit more Audric Estime this week? We saw him get 2 carries, but he had like an 11-yard run on one of them. Let's see what he can do. But Audric Estime, Jaleel McLaughlin, Javonte Williams, all 3 of these guys have fumbled the ball this year already. Whoever is there, please hold on to the ball. That has to be one of the keys to victory from our running back position, and we can't get out. We can't get out of our game plan. I think we do need to kind of open up a little bit quicker, like how we opened up against Tampa Bay on the road, kind of throwing the ball, getting Bo Nix into a nice early rhythm, not completely getting away from the run, but giving him some nice, easy completions, getting him in rhythm and throwing downfield still early, right? Let's get back to that. Let's play a little bit more loose. And it's up to Sean Payton, man, especially going into a very, very, very loud crowd, kind of like Seattle. One of the tougher places to play in is at that New Orleans Superdome. Loud. We got to get the play calls in early. We got to simplify the play calls. We can't have Bo Nix getting to the line with 7 seconds left, which is what was happening in that first week against Seattle. Let's have the operation just be simplified. Let's have it be clear. Let's have it be clean. Let's do it. Let's do it. Northcutt Productions. What's going on? The way coach says he wants to see Estime more makes me feel like his number will be called more often this game. He'll break tackles. Yes. Can we have some juice in the running game, man? Let's have some juice. Audric Estime, I want to see what he can do, because this year, Audric Estime has the opportunity to cement himself as that starting running back for us next year. He has the opportunity to do it. And if he fails to do it, I could see us bringing in another guy and drafting a guy with like our 3rd-round pick or something like that, right? Somebody, even the guy from Boise State in the 1st round, depending on where we pick. That would be pretty cool. But anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's have Estime go get a touchdown, as D-Rock's saying. It's so important for Bo to have some help moving the chains with this offense, man. We didn't give him any favors. Now, I'm not excusing him from some of his poor throws, and poor reads in the game against the Chargers. But come on, man, let's play some good team football where everybody's picking up for each other, okay? Now, New Orleans is in a similar situation. They're going to have to play collective football, team football, because they are just being killed right now on the injury report. We're going to get to it right now. I mean, check this out, guys. We'll get to us. Right now, all of our important players should be playing outside of, sadly, Palcho and Pat Surtain out with that concussion. Now, Mike McGlinchey actually might play. Full participation. That's really good. That would be huge. Even though I actually think that Matt Pert, for our third string tackle, I thought he played pretty good last week. So maybe you don't rush him back. Baron Browning, same case. It would be great if he can play, but I think our edge players have been playing pretty well. Justin Strnad, Riley Moss, Jaquan McMillan. It's very important that all these guys play, as well as Damari Mathis, who's going to be a reserve option for us. Levi Wallace, I'm imagining, will be that starting cornerback for us with Riley Moss and Jaquan McMillan. But it's going to be very important for us to be able to cover. Let's not get away from ourselves like we did on defense after Pat Surtain went out in that first play on defense or whatever it was. Let's play our brand of football. We play man coverage. We blitz. We tackle. I think we got out of our identity a little too quickly on both offense and defense last game. So let's just get back to what we do. We won't have to work through the shock of not being without Pat Surtain. We'll be in there, or we'll be ready in there in New Orleans this time around. We know what we got. Now, New Orleans, on the other hand, oh my God. Cesar Ruiz, starting guard, out. Derek Carr, he ain't going to play. They got Lucas Patrick, who's questionable, limited participation today. Linebacker Pete Werner out. Their best two wide receivers. Chris Olave is, in my opinion, one of the best wide receivers and definitely one of the best young wide receivers in the NFL, out with a concussion. And also Rashid Shaheed, their big deep play burner, is out in this game with a knee injury. So it's kind of funny. We've talked a lot about, like, man, it would just be so nice to have Tim Patrick on this team because can we just have somebody with some reliable hands? It's kind of funny because I bet they're kind of really wishing they had A.T. Perry right now at this point. And that would be kind of cool to see A.T. Perry suit up, if he's already caught up with the playbook. Again, he was in that playbook last year with Pete Carmichael in New Orleans last season. So you might have some packages in place for him if he were to suit up and also play on special teams. We'll have to see. Taysom Hill, their dynamic weapon at tight end, quarterback, running back, whatever. He can do a little bit of everything. He's doubtful. I imagine we will see Alvin Kamara play, and key to the game, stopping this run attack with a rookie quarterback like Spencer Rattler, especially. You're going to want to play the offense entirely through Alvin Kamara, right? You want to take pressure off Spencer Rattler. So we need our safeties, PJ Locke, Brandon Jones, our linebackers who are going to be on Alvin Kamara at certain points, Cody Barton. Will we see our linebacker, Lavelle Bailey, activated? This is somebody I think that could match up to help cover Alvin Kamara fairly well, as well as Justin Strnad. All of those guys are going to have to play a good role in making sure that we lock down Alvin Kamara, because he is by far their most dynamic weapon they have right now, especially with Chris Olave and Rashid Shaheed out. Outside of that, who knows if any of these other guys play, Tyrann Mathieu, seems like they're all full participation. Willie Gay Jr., Bub Means, we're going to see a lot of him, especially with the injuries that they have in the receiving room. But maybe Kalen Saunders doesn't suit up with his back injury. So we're just going to have to see. But they are quite banged up. It's going to be next man up mentality for both teams. And so, again, keys to the game, and get out to a hot start. Let's have Bo Nix be the better quarterback. He needs to be the better quarterback in this game. He needs to. He can't be worse than Bo Nix or than Spencer Rattler. No freaking way. That cannot happen. Spencer Rattler against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 22 of 40, 243 yards, 6.1 yards per attempt. So that's about a 55% completion. Took 5 sacks and had 2 interceptions. We need to put on a defensive performance that gives us a similar stat line this week, tomorrow night, with Spencer Rattler. But I think that this New Orleans Saints team is going to come out motivated. They got a lot to prove to their old coach, Sean Payton. I'm not really sure how many guys are still with the team from when he was there, but the crowd's going to be pumped up. They're going to be, really fired up. It's going to be a difficult atmosphere on the road to play in, but we have been prepared for that. We've had some tough road environments that we've gone into, most notably week 1 against Seattle. Let's get that operation a little bit cleaner. Let's make sure we shut down Alvin Kamara. I mean, he wasn't much of a factor here in running the ball. 3.1 yards per attempt, 1 touchdown, and a long of 7. So we need to do a much better job shutting Kamara down compared to how we let J.K. Dobbins just run all over us last week. And let's defend those wheel routes the Chargers took advantage of, like with Kamani Vidal out of the backfield last week. I think we're going to come out and have a much more focused game. But their receivers in this matchup, they're probably going to go to the tight ends a lot, just like they did in this game. Foster Moreau, Jawan Johnson. Big fan of Jawan Johnson, actually. I think he's an underrated tight end. Bub Means, Cedric Wilson Jr., you'll probably see a handful of those guys. But again, I think you'll see a lot of Alvin Kamara featured. You could see him featured in the passing game, more than 5 receptions. So we shall have to see. But guys, I mean, this was a crazy game. Both teams had 3 turnovers, and you saw Tampa Bay still put up, 51 points, just insane. So I'll get to some of your comments. Again, please be sure to like and subscribe. We got over 40 people in here, so that's that means a lot. Thank you guys so much. Let me go ahead and get to some of these comments, then we'll wrap this up. But let me know if you got any questions, thoughts. I'll get to it. D-Rock, let's be reasonable. Who's your ideal trade or at the deadline player to get? If Cleveland's really tearing this thing down, I would love to go get David Njoku. Like, that would be awesome. He's a complete tight end. Him or Dawson Knox, but I don't think they're going to trade Dawson Knox. That would be amazing. Travis Etienne, that's probably a little bit less realistic because I haven't heard anything over the last couple weeks of him being traded. But that would be a dynamic weapon to have out of the backfield under contract the next 2 years, or for this season and next season. That would be, oh man. And I know that, again, this is not a sexy trade, guys, but this is just kind of how down bad I feel like our big time playmaking ability downfield is go get Mike Williams if he's somewhat healthy. I know it's not sexy, but I think he makes those 2 catches that Marvin Mims failed to against the Chargers last week. I think Mike Williams makes that. And, when healthy, again, when healthy, that's the real question, real issue. He makes plays. He does make plays. And I like those big wide receiver burner types, and he's on a really cheap contract. I think he's signed close to the veteran minimum. D-Rock, I love this. Can we take a New York second and honor our white knight on his spectacular performance? He does not get beat in coverage, but the defender just makes a superb catch. I think you meant to say superb. Yes, you are absolutely right. Riley Moss, been amazing, man. I've seen him even referred to as the crackerback instead of the cornerback. He has just been incredible. But yeah, it's like this superpower always against him, where when he's beat, 1 or 2 times a game, it's always on these amazing catches. Whatever, man. We got to shut that down this week. No doubt about it. Riley Moss, man, he's been incredible. I saw Zach Seegers from Let's Talk Broncos post this funny little chart called the Bermuda Triangle, with where Pat Surtain, Riley Moss, and Jaquan McMillan are for their coverage, and it's just on an island on its own. I mean, it's beautiful. We have a fantastic secondary. They need to step up in this game and really hold up their end of the bargain. Normally I would freak out having Pat Surtain out, but we're deep enough at this position where I feel like we should still be covering those guys to a T. Be on their hip. Respect my codes. I want to be mad at a running back trade like Roshan Johnson or Khalil Herbert if Estime doesn't show out the next 3 games before the deadline. Yeah. And especially because Khalil Herbert's on like a 7th round draft pick type of contract, if I remember correctly, or maybe 6th. Like he was a day 3 pick. He should be pretty cheap to acquire. Along with Roshan Johnson, I think he might have been like a 4th or 5th round pick too. Of course, DeAndre Swift is doing really, really well for the Bears. And they kind of have a luxury of riches there right now in the running back room. But yeah, I would love that. Again, I'm not really loyal to anybody in this backfield. I just want to see somebody do it. It's nice for Sean Payton to see one of these Saints tight ends up close because they would be such good additions. Yeah, it's a bummer, man. It was really fun hyping up Lucas Kroll in the offseason. It was really fun hyping up Greg Dulcich in preseason. Wasn't that so much fun? It's always fun hyping up those guys that you just want to see finally turn the corner and do good. But the production just hasn't been there, man. There's enough games to go by to where it's like, man, these guys just aren't trusted. They're inactive half the time, and somebody like Jawan Johnson would feel like Travis Kelce on this offense right now in this tight end room. I think that's how down bad this tight end room is that Jawan Johnson would look like a Hall of Famer compared to these guys. That's how I feel right now. Ramey K says 29 late in the 4th quarter. Estime breaks a big one, and Riley gets a pick 6 to close out the game. Let's go 34-9 Broncos. Let's go get a dominant victory on the road. Let's make another statement game. It was really cool to see us get back-to-back road wins, right, against the Bucs and the Jets. Both of those games were a lot of fun to watch. Totally different types of games, but let's score some points. Let's have Bo Nix kind of show. Like, this is why Sean Payton drafted me, right? Let's see this. Again, we can't allow Bo to have a worse game than Spencer Rattler in this game. No. Bo needs to outperform. The pressure is on. I'm putting pressure on him, man. That's how I feel about this game. Let's have him show out. I know he can do it. But that would be absolute cinema. We are talking Broncos. We're talking Broncos, no doubt about it. And that's right, D-Rock saying Njoku. Yes. Again, Mike Williams isn't a sexy addition, but at this point, I don't even know, man. Like, sometimes there's been thoughts in the back of my head. Would Marquez Valdez-Scantling be an upgrade over some of the guys we got right now? Like, I really need to know. Respect my coach. Joe Bucks mentioned that Dawson Knox being frustrated with his role, as he should be. He got paid like a starting tight end, and now because of what's his name, I can't even remember, the guy from Utah. He's not even their number 1 tight end. He would be fantastic. Honestly, we're screaming Njoku, but the Broncos are going to give us a Roku type of tight end. What's likely to happen? A top-tier tight end or a bargain basement player? Do we even trade for a bargain basement player? Or do we just straight up, like, the bargain basement player for me, D-Rock, is probably just Donald Parham, who we already have on the practice squad. Isn't he a 6'8"? 6'7" type of guy. I mean, I'm anxious to see him out there. I don't know how good of a blocker he really is, but at least he can get downfield and catch the ball. Like, I think he can get open, right? Like, I think he can get separation. But I tell you what, man, right now I'm just kind of done with Marvin Mims. It's just kind of how I feel about it. Like, I'm done trying to see it work on offense. Let's see more of Devon Vele in this game. He's been encouraging to see, and honestly, I know that, again, I don't know like what y'all's expectations were for Troy Franklin his rookie year. I feel like maybe some of y'all have higher expectations for him, but I was expecting like zero stuff from him this year in his rookie year. I was expecting it to be more like a redshirt season, just because he was seen as a big time project coming into the NFL. So the fact that we've seen his snaps increase throughout the weeks and to see him get some production, I think is encouraging. Like that, so far he's exceeded my expectation, but my expectation has been rather low for him, just kind of overall his rookie season. We shouldn't be loyal to any of these guys. I just want to see us get some weapons to help out Bo. Like if we're truly taking his development seriously, again, I loved what the Eagles did. They said, "Hey, we got Jalen Hurts. He's not the best passer, but hey, if we go get Devontae Smith and AJ Brown, he should be pretty good, right?" And then they go to a Super Bowl. Parham is our tower one. Wow. Wow, I love it. Mile High Stoner, thanks so much for tuning in, and be sure to smash that like. Follow David Talks Broncos. What's your score prediction? I guess I haven't given a score prediction, so a few insights on what you think will happen. Yeah, I guess I've given my keys to the game, but not any predictions. I'm pretty bad at predictions, so give me a second to think about it. Give me 27-16. 27-16, baby. Give me that on the road. That's right, statement game. I think we will have an interception. I think we definitely will with Spencer Rattler playing, right? And maybe this is more of me just a willingness into the universe, but I think we'll see Bo Nix's best game this week, even on a short week. I think we'll see him come out. Sean Payton can't allow Bo Nix to not have a good game, like in a situation like this, right? But we're gonna have a strong run game for that to happen. So it would be great to see Audric Estime get some more action in the backfield, and let's see some bounce back games from Cody Barton, from Justin Sternad. I think Levi Wallace did pretty well in terms of him filling in, being that fourth corner. So let's see our pass rush get after it. Again, Spencer Rattler took 5 sacks. This should be an offensive line that we totally eat against. I'm thinking we have another 4 sacks in this game at least. And it's going to be more like I think we could see kind of similar to, wasn't Aaron Rodgers sacked like 7 times by our defense? Or maybe that was Baker Mayfield. I can't remember. But I think we do have a 7-sack performance. I think we could see that from the defense again tomorrow night if we can get out to a lead early. That would be very important. If you can put Spencer Rattler in a position where that offense is trying to come back from a deficit, that's when we're going to eat it. That's when we're going to eat it. No doubt about it. But at the end of the day, like I want to see the Broncos like start to make some moves to show confidence, man, in what we're building. I don't want to waste this defense. We have a really good defense. Let's try and help out this offense a little bit over the hump, and get it over the hump so that we can get one of these wild card spots. We're right in the middle of it at 3-3. Let's get to 4-3, and then we got, I think, Carolina. So let's start to get some good juju going again after this disappointing loss to the Chargers. We're a better team than what we showed on Sunday. Like we've seen this team play better on both sides of the ball. It's just about putting it all together, learning how to be consistent, and just getting Bo Nix some help, man. Learning is a lot easier in the NFL, and getting comfortable when you just got some great weapons to rely on. And let's put Cortland Sutton in a situation to where he's not being covered like he's the number one option, right? That would be great. So imagine if we could get a weapon like CeeDee Lamb. We passed on CeeDee Lamb. So disappointing. It's so disappointing. So, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to be live tomorrow for my post game. Hopefully, my friends Jeremy and I guess Jeremy and Marky Sports will join me on Friday. I think I got to work this out, or I might be going live with Let's Talk Broncos, Zach Seegers, and all them after the game. So either way, hit the bell notification because then you'll see kind of who I'm going to be doing the live post game with tomorrow. But nonetheless, I will be doing breakdowns with both of them in the coming days. Guys, thanks so much. Hope you enjoyed the game tomorrow. It should be a lot of fun and very exciting. As always, go Broncos.